a bunch of dumb chicks want to take it over, even though it's not made for them. Hello, everyone. I am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy. We're talking about the problematic quote unquote movie Ford vs Ferrari, and actually we got a special guest coming in too. So
and how appropriate! I have my IPD. We're not sponsored by IPD any.
I'm not sponsored by anybody. Like, subscribe, share. I'm not. My channel's throttled. So yes, please. And thank you so much. So Rob's here because he made the wonderful intro for me here, and is kind of a car guy and knows a little bit more about the car stuff than I do. Oh God, this comes from Think, this little hate take. The way Ford vs Ferrari undermines its main female character is frustratingly predictable.
How appropriate it's titled Think, because apparently they're not thinking.
Oh, they don't know how. They haven't known how to think in like how many years now? 20 years. It's been about 20 years.
Ford vs. Well, as I've said, now the person who wrote this is named Sage Young.
Yeah, I'm she's probably like, well, no. Here we go. We always play this little guessing game of what do these writers look like who write these articles. So we have this bet that usually there are these little 20-something-year-old white girls. All right, so go ahead. Tell me what she looks like.
Okay, well, first, whiter than white.
Okay.
Blonde hair.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 22, 23 maybe.
And that's what they always do look like. All right, I didn't show him this image beforehand, but I did. Yeah, Sage Young. She's a little blonde white girl. What's her bio? Is a Bustle Movies editor covering new theatrical and streaming releases. She's been with Bustle since 2015 because she probably graduated college then. Yeah. You know.
Let's take. Oh, here's her LinkedIn page. Okay, let's see. Freelance writer, editor with extensive experience, pop culture, Greater New York City area.
There, you can go knock on her door and tell her she's wrong. Don't do that, but
contributor, demand media. Where did she go? I guarantee she relocated from the Midwest. Guarantee you.
She was probably.
Guarantee you.
This is the trend that we're noticing is all of these little white girls who are screaming the loudest for diversity, representation, blah, 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 da, 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 da. Usually they're talking about a bunch of ethnic groups. At least in this one, she's talking about Ford versus Ferrari. So, I don't know. Do we want to read her article or do we just want to laugh at her?
She went, well, let's laugh at her and read. She went to Penn State, which is, But let's read. Ford vs Ferrari is a film about designing, constructing, and racing cars that's set in the mid-1960s. Remember that, people, set in the mid-1960s.
It's a true story. Set in the 60s.
True story. And the true story is probably even better than the movie, but I haven't seen the movie yet. I don't know. As such, the plot is fueled by as much testosterone as it is by gasoline.
Good.
And that's the problem here. And that's the problem that Sage has. It focuses on the partnership of the real Ken Miles, played by Christain Bale, who I guarantee you that Sage hasn't heard of until now, and Carol Shelby.
Oh, no. She's a modern geek because she would know who Christain Bale is. Oh, you're talking about the other one. Yeah.
Ken Miles and Carol Shelby.
No, she wouldn't know who they are.
Who accepted Henry Ford II's challenge to produce a racing car that could outperform his Italian rivals over at Ferrari. Clearly, Ford vs Ferrari is about men. And that's fine. But even films about men, which there are many, can include fully formed women. And here we go. Unfortunately, the way Ford vs Ferrari chooses to undermine its main female character is indicative of a frustrating trend in male adventure stories.
It's not about her. It's about two guys who make cars. For crying out loud. I'm not even that big of a car guy, and I know who Shelby is.
But you see, according to Sage Young, it should be about her. Because she should be just as important
That's the problem with these
Shelby
young girls. That's the problem with these young white little college girls who get on, and I'm not white bashing, I'm SJW bashing is what we're doing, NPC bashing. They get on their little high horse and they come in and they say every movie should be for me. No, you can stay your ass home if you don't want to watch a car movie, little missy. You don't have to watch every little thing. You've already got your little mitts in Star Wars and they turn that into Disney princess crap.
To paraphrase a certain somebody, I don't need to hear what a 22-year-old white girl thinks about what she did and shit didn't like in Ford vs Ferrari. It wasn't made for her.
Exactly. Oh, it's so frustrating. I mean, okay, it's a side character. It's about two dudes with cars. Your job as the chick who's going to get dragged to this movie is to shut your mouth and look at Christian Bale and who's in this? Matt Damon is the other one.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, you're supposed to shut your mouth and drool.
Jon Bernthal.
Oh, and Jon Bernthal. You're supposed to shut your mouth. You've got your eye candy. That's who's in this for you. You're supposed to look at those three guys and go, oh, they're so dreamy and they're sexy. I guarantee you they got their shirts off in that movie because that's the thing. They're trying to. These girls are so. Oh. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
I'm going to talk about Molly. When audiences first meet her, Molly Miles, she's dropping her husband Ken. She's dropping by her husband Ken's garage, and the purring lines about engines and speed. This is how we know she is not a spoilsport. Molly supports her husband's passion. She even likes cars. Molly also loves Ken's son and their son, Noah Jupe. Jupe? Well, whatever it is. The marriage is depicted as a partnership, which is positive. We see Ken go to the grocery store for the family. And because she's not the one in the spotlight. Molly Miles is not the one in the spotlight.
It's not about her.
But according to Sage, it should be. It should all be about Molly. Molly acts dangerously impulsive in others. Oh, God.
Oh, do we want to skip over to the other article? Okay, your take is stupid. You just want this little hate take. This girl, this little sage, whatever the crap. She just wants more women in a movie that's not about them. That's based on a true story, and if those women actually did something, then their names might have been on there. Of course, Bloomberg says that Ford vs. Ferrari depicts a generation of car guys that's best left behind. Hannah Elliott. Who the fuck are you, Hannah Elliott?
That's why I guarantee you, blonde hair, blue-eyed, lives in New York, transplanted from the Midwest, suburban girl. Am I right? How close am I?
She's a blonde. Well, she's got brown eyes, but she's a blonde white girl.
Emaciated, right? She's emaciated.
She's very
looks like she's starving.
Yeah, but she does have pictures in front of cars though, so.
What kind of car?
A red
one?
Of car? It's a red one. It's an Audi.
Ford vs. Ferrari, which opens on Friday, November 15th, rather, starring Christian Bale and Matt Damon, follows British racing driver Ken Miles, Bale, and hot rodder Carroll Shelby. First of all, calling Carroll Shelby a hot rodder is a disservice to him. My name's Carroll Shelby, and performance is my business, as he said. As they build a special race car to help the Ford Motor Company beat Ferrari at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1966 and 67. They also won in 68 and 69. The goal was to break Enzo Ferrari's stronghold on international racing. That his Scuderia Ferrari winning team had everything throughout the 1960s. No, that was actually not the goal. The goal was to humiliate Enzo Ferrari after he refused to sell Ferrari to Ford. Build me a car to crush the Italians. That's what Henry Ford II said. They strike an odd couple pair. Miles is wiry, eccentric brick. Shelby is a square-jawed cowboy hat-wearing Texan. Neither much like the corporate pressure exerted by Ford chief Lee Iacocca and his marketing goons, who themselves were humiliated by Ferrari's old-world gravitas after a bungled buyout attempt. And because Enzo didn't want to sell the racing team. And there you have the necessary tension for a movie. Enzo pulled out his pen during the negotiations and wrote on the contract, "No, this is no good." when he saw the provision that said Ford had to sell him the racing team. That's what this all came down to. It's a beautifully shot film that will be enjoyable for modern car buyers and enthusiasts alike, except if you drive a hybrid.
Yeah, but what's their problem with the old white dudes? That's best left behind. Is this just a clickbait title?
But what I saw is a devastating picture of the lack of diversity.
Oh my God!
That permeated the industry in the 1960s.
It was the 1960s.
If automakers want any hope of relevance in the next decade as they face the most radical changes and challenges they've experienced in the 150-odd years of automotive history, they would be wise to contemplate it closely, because Ford versus Ferrari shows a generation best left dead and gone.
You know, I think they were more worried about lining up at the gas pumps and waiting in line in the 1970s. Is that the decade they're talking about, or are they talking about this decade? Because this takes place in the 1960s. Mm-hmm. This isn't current. Oh my God, are these people just delusional? Are they?
They are.
Also, I did pull up the picture of you standing in front of the autographed Shelby. So,
oh yeah.
It's like, this is why you're on this video, because you're a bit of a car freak. So.
Let me tell you something about auto racing and about racing in the 1960s and in the 1970s, right up through the 1980s.
It was like Monster a Go-Go or not?
No,
was it? Yeah.
No, if you made it to the end of the season, that oftentimes would be a miracle. They would lose on average 2 drivers a season, not just dropping out dead.
But they weren't diverse enough. See, that's only because they weren't diverse enough, and they weren't having a token little representation that they can feel superior. I mean, that they can feel like they're empowering. Because that's all it comes down to. All these diversity crap. All these people.
Well, men dominate the screen for 98% of the time by my unofficial count. They are in the executive suites at Ford and Ferrari, in the workshops and garages in Venice.
1960s. Because the 1960s.
And when I say men, I mean white, straight men.
Oh, suck my asshole, you stupid cunt bitch person. This who the hell? Hannah Elliott. Hannah Elliott's worse than Sage. What is wrong with you? This is the 1960s. What do you expect? Mad Men? Women still were very traditional, and they were happy to be very traditional because that was their choice. And to hold women by today's standards for something they chose to do back in the 1960s is disgusting. Hannah. Hannah.
Well, she goes on. The central message of Ford versus Ferrari, that the answer to the question, who are you, is what really matters in life, is delivered in the beginning, middle, and end in the film by Shelby. The biggest problem with that is Carroll Shelby, the man who is responsible for turning the Ford Mustang into the epitome of American muscle, occupies a godlike status in car culture and embodied everything that the red-blooded American male of the era was supposed to hold supreme. Shelby was a notorious womanizer who blew through 6 marriages and was heading towards divorce from the 7th when he died. He spoke to everyone with language so blue it was legendary. Ask any car journalist or professional driver who knew him, and they've got plenty of descriptive words to describe the way he treated anyone within earshot.
So he was a Samantha. So he was a Samantha, sweetheart. That's it. Hannah Elliott. He was a Samantha. You know, you would be plotting this if it were a woman doing the same thing. How many men have you gone through? Just doesn't like him personally because he doesn't conform to her little cookie cutter, fake progressive, pro-clutching ideals is what it is.
All right. But grow up, okay? That's all I got to say.
That's the thing. Just grow up. Stop. Just
Hannah,
stop
Sage,
holding these people from ideals that are today's standards. You bunch of crybabies. That's all this boils down to, is that, boo-hoo, things were different then and we don't like it. So what? Don't watch the movie. A, it's not made for you. B, there's plenty of eye candy in there if you open your damn eyes and watch it. You got Christian Bale, you got Matt Damon, you got Joan Bernthal. Shut your mouth, watch the damn movie, stop writing these hate take articles.
Well, that's it. I got nothing left to say. Hannah, Sage, grow up. Grow up. Seriously.
Grow up.
It's not all about you, okay?
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!